Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So good news, it seems like the Justice League and Suicide Squad characters that the TV shows have lost can totally come back. So we got a little clarification. Here's just a breakdown of what's going on, between TV show, movie characters. There were a lot of conventions over the weekend, so naturally a lot of TV actors were appearing in various places. Stephen Amell did a panel where he said something really interesting about TV versus movie characters, just because there's always a big question with what are the TV shows allowed to do? Does a character appearing in the movies, like say Deathstroke, mean that he can never appear on the TV shows again? So while I think it's important to understand that this changes on a daily basis, he did say Deathstroke specifically was not off limits to them on the TV show. So if Manu Bennett became available and they had room in their schedule, they'd totally bring him back. Like he said, his dream team Arrow would have Deathstroke and Huntress on it. That could totally happen in a future season. But he just said a long time ago, Diane Nelson, who's kind of in charge of all Warner Brothers DC things, along with Jeff Johns now. Jeff Johns has been up now to be in charge of DC films, but it used to just be Diane Nelson. He said that she sent him like a very nice letter explaining their thesis for why the movies should be different from the TV shows, like why the party line is different from Marvel's everything is connected. And it was mostly in favor of allowing the TV shows to do their own thing while the movies did their own thing, and they didn't have to worry about stepping on each other's toes. Now that doesn't automatically mean that the TV shows can do whatever they want to do. I definitely think there have been cases in the past where they've been asked to diminish the role of certain properties that are moving into the movies. Like last year, there was the offhanded remark that Willa Holland, who plays Thea, made about the Suicide Squad on Arrow, how they were forced to kill them off because they were going to become this big thing in the movies as they were ramping up to make the Suicide Squad film. Now that may or may not be true. I do think that they have a lot of choice in the characters that they do, even if there are movie characters happening. So like they could probably do some of the Suicide Squad characters, but when the producers say, oh, it's our choice to not do characters, you do kind of wonder if they're being preemptive. Like if you know somebody's going to take something away from you, maybe you put it in the toy bin before they have the opportunity to come take it away from you. So it doesn't become a big thing behind the scenes, like everybody just trying to be nice with each other. So it all sounds really confusing and political. I think it's less of a big deal now. I think they're a little bit more open. We have Superman coming onto the TV shows. They probably have to make a pretty strong case for big characters like that. Like, explain to us, us at Warner Brothers, why you need this huge character that we're doing in the movies right now. Like, why will this help your TV show? So keep in mind that anytime actors make comments about being able to do characters from the movies or not being able to do characters from the movies, that you just need to take it with a grain of salt, because this changes year to year. I think it changes with the success or failure of stuff that happens in the movies. Like I think Superman, quote unquote, dying at the end of Batman v Superman and kind of going away for a while in Justice League helped Supergirl get the character. The real test of Superman on the TV shows will be what happens after Justice League comes out and Superman returns. But if you're someone who's been watching superhero TV shows since before Smallville, then you know the ups and downs of those characters on TV. There was a Superman TV show for a while. It was called Smallville. There will be another Superman TV show eventually, but because that would probably undercut Supergirl's character, I think they'll wait till after Supergirl ends its run, which, safe bet 7 seasons for most TV shows. And yeah, I totally think that Batman will eventually show up on the TV shows. Now, there might not be another Batman TV show for a long, long time, at least not a live action show, but that doesn't mean that he won't appear in other people's TV shows eventually. I think the real trick of the TV shows now, the Berlanti-verse is a good example, is doing big Secret Wars, Crisis on Infinite Earth style crossovers in finding a way to do a comic book universe on TV, not just like a standalone procedural TV show, like a CSI comic book show. So that's the real challenge. If they can pull that off, I think they'll have a much better shot of getting characters like Batman, because it's like, oh my god, look at this giant universe. Of course Batman exists here. But say like Lucifer on Fox, it's a DC comic book property, so yeah, Bruce Wayne is like somewhere in there, but there's much less of a reason to have him on if it's not this big wide universe. If it's a really self-contained show and it has decent ratings, there's really no incentive to bring Batman on. But if you're going to do a giant Crisis on Infinite Earth story with like 4, 5, 6 TV shows all at once, then yeah, that would be an occasion to bring Batman on the screen. But big takeaway is that Deathstroke is not gone from Arrow, Suicide Squad not gone from Arrow completely, but I think the real trick is seeing what they do this year and how they get back to some of that stuff, because it all comes full circle by the end. I'm expecting 7 seasons from Arrow, so I think we will get that Deathstroke, Huntress, Team Arrow before season 7 goes down. But here's the real question though. When do you think that we'll see Batman pop up or Bruce Wayne get a name drop, see his face on screen in the Berlantiverse on any of the TV shows? Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl. Just a character who was referenced by other characters as Bruce Wayne or Batman. I'm willing to give him some wiggle room, but I always felt like Endgame for Arrow was Bruce Wayne approaching Oliver to offer him membership in the Justice League of the TV universe. Like, even if it's a flash forward, you just see him standing with Batman, Superman, the Flash, and they're all doing the all for one, one for all as they put their hands together, and then it just like slams to black, like, oh my god, Justice League, we're here. But after Arrow does go off the air in a couple years, I mean, it'll probably be a couple years, I do want to see Stephen Amell come back to guest star every once in a while as Oliver in like a live action Young Justice show. That'd be pretty funny. Like, let me know in the comments, if Arrow goes off the air, which it will before some of the other DC TV shows, how would you want to see the other TV shows use Stephen Amell as a guest star? What do you guys think about that? I'll say congratulations to this week's giveaway winner, Nightwing. You win a $20 Amazon gift card. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. The DC giveaway is still going on. I'm expecting a Supergirl, Superman trailer pretty soon, maybe next week, maybe the week after that. We're pretty much within like the 1 month period of Supergirl starting, and that's really when they start to drop footage. So there'll be more Flash, more Arrow, more Legends of Tomorrow, Reverse Flash. So there'll be a bunch more trailers for all the superhero shows, not just the DC stuff, for all the Marvel shows too, especially Luke Cage, which is premiering at the end of this month. But what's going to happen later tonight is I'll be posting new Thor Ragnarok. Like, they just showed off some of the new costumes that they're all wearing. Like, everybody gets an upgrade for Thor Ragnarok, as you would expect. Every time there's a new movie, everybody gets a little upgrade. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here to learn all about the Flash movie, and you can click here to watch that Deathstroke teaser again. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.